Good afternoon. This is Mr. Mike from the Mindfulness class at your Boys and Girls Club. With us stuck at home here for a while, we thought we'd try some online sessions to just kind of help you remember some of the fun classes we've had. So I miss all of you, and hopefully you miss me too, but I hope you're all doing wonderful and enjoying your time with your parents and family and friends, or at least those that you can spend time with during these days. I do want to start by just saying that this too shall pass. So if any of you are scared, worried what the future is going to hold, yes, this is change, but that's the only constant is change. And so when we talk about the next month or two, I think we're going to see a major shift in a wonderful way. I'd say as early as May, we're going to see a light at the end of the tunnel and start putting together a game plan of getting things back to what we define as normal. So it's the old saying, April showers brings May flowers. And I'd say just hold your ground during this month, and hopefully we'll have some much more wonderful news to share as we drift into the May month. And I know you're doing homeschooling, etc. And so just make sure you're taking time every day to do some reading and to do your work. And before you know it, you'll be back to school, seeing your friends, or at least going to the pool this summer possibly, and getting back out to the parks that are currently closed. So with that said, I'm going to do some sessions, and I'll send them out periodically through the Boys and Girls Club, and I hope you enjoy. So as what we do in almost every one of my classes, we start by thinking of our gratefuls. And so I'm going to ask each of you to yourself to think of 3 things that you're appreciative for in the past week. And I'll give you a minute to think about it. And while you're thinking of yours, I'm going to give you mine. And so I'm happy that I'm here speaking with you, and I miss you. And I think this is really special that technology allows us to do this. And then I'm also thankful that I have my instruments here that we'll have a little bit of fun with. And then I'm thankful that I still get to spend time with my own children, which I have 4 boys and a girl. And we're spending more time together during this time. So those are my 3 thankfuls. So think about yours, and if you can't think of them right now, try to think of them a little later. And why do we do our thankfuls again? Because it allows us to feel good. When we talk about our thankfuls, we feel better. And there's nothing more important than feeling good. So my 2 favorite ones are 1, our thankfuls, and 2, things we love, sharing love. So what's the number 1 thing we should all love to start with? If you remember, it should be ourselves. We love ourselves. There's nothing more important than loving yourself. Until you love yourself, it's pretty hard to give love to others. So recognize how special you are, how perfect you are right now, exactly as you are, and know that that's how I see each of you. So love yourself. And then secondly, send out love to your family when you're with them. Maybe give them a hug. Maybe just think about them and send them love. Maybe just say I love you to them. But it's important. And once again, even if they don't respond, and maybe the way you'd like them to do so, just sending them love is really all that matters, because it feels good. We're coming back to that, to my normal belief system, which is it's more important to feel good than anything else. So love yourself, love others, and then you could even send love out to Mother Earth. I send love to the sun for keeping us warm and alive. I send love out to oxygen that we need to breathe. I send out love to my own physical body for working, because there's so many things that I can't control about it, but it's working wonderful, and I'm here with you today. Send love to my eyes for seeing, my ears for hearing, my nose for smelling. So there's so many things to be thankful for and to send love to on a daily basis. And I'd ask for you just to take a minute each day and do that. And maybe ask your family when you sit down for dinner each evening for everybody to share a thankful or something they love. I think it's a wonderful family tradition. That's what we do in my family every day. And I think it really sets just a nice vibe for the dinner, and a reminder that no matter if you had some contrast that day, there's always something to be thankful for. Okay. So with that said, let's have a little bit of fun with the instruments, okay? And so I'm going to play them, and then we'll talk about it and why I always play them, all right? So the drum, you'd be happy to know I tightened it. It was really loose back there, so I figured out on my own how to tighten up the ropes in the back. And so let's play this for a second, and hopefully you can feel the same energy at home that you do when we're in our class. energy? And what do we talk about? We could feel the energy, but could we see the energy? No, we couldn't see it, but that's okay. All right, let's play with a couple of other instruments. Here, this is one of my newer ones. Remember this one, my thunder stick? You ready? That was a little scary, wasn't it? That kind of reminds you of a big old thunderstorm. But I always look at thunderstorms as a beautiful thing because they feed the animals that are outside and our plants and our trees and our grass. So rain's really important. But once again, could you feel that energy? But once again, could we see it? Nope. How about this? Remember Mr. Owl? Let's do this one. I always like that one. Kind of brings me back to nature. So another good little vibe. Ooh, how about Mr. Frog? Remember him, don't you? Wow, he's gotten so much use from you guys over the last couple of years. Look, you can see where he's even getting a little worn out, but he's still doing his job. Good job, Mr. Frog. Set him up there. And then we got the shaker. This is one of my favorites. Ooh. I like doing that. Ooh. Ooh. That always feels really good. I hope you felt that the same way I did. That kind of shook up my energy. We'll do two more and then we'll talk. This is a new one I just bought. The big rain stick. When we get back to class again, I'll bring this in for you guys to play with. Ooh, it's kind of cool, isn't it? And then lastly, what did I see that we had played? Oh, of course, the gong. For some reason, I'm not finding my crystal bowl, and I'm wondering if I mistakenly left it at the Boys and Girls Club the last time I was there. So I'll have to reach out to Mr. Hughes and ask. But with that said, let's play the gong. Felt that one. Did you feel that one? So what do? We always have fun with these instruments and we talk about it, that we can feel the energy, but we can't see it. And then what do I shift that over to our thoughts? We have thoughts all day long, don't we? And thoughts become, all a belief is a thought that we have a lot. So, but can we see those thoughts that we have? No. So they're very similar to the instruments. So even though we can't see the sound that the instrument makes, it's creating a vibration, which then ends up being that sound that our ear hears. Well, our thoughts also create vibrations, and those thoughts become our reality. So if we say to ourselves, I'm going to be a really good student and have a good year, there's a pretty good chance you're going to have a really good year. But if we also say, nobody ever likes me and I don't get along with anybody, there's a good chance you're going to have some issues with kids in school. So you really want to be careful about what you think. So we say you always want to be going for that better feeling thought, right? So let's say that you have a brother, Tommy, and Tommy's causing some trouble at home with you. And you could say, well, Tommy is never nice to me and we never get along and I wish I didn't have any brothers and so on. And that energy's going down. That's not feeling too good, is it? But then we could bring it back up. But he always does kind of look out for me. And whenever I need help with math, he always helps me out. And at school, he always looks over me too. And we have fun playing basketball together. So he's the same boy we're talking about, the same brother, but it's all in what you think about. So just remember that. And the same, one more example with school for today. I have math and I'm never really good at math and it's hard and I know I'm not going to do well and I'm not really a good student. I wish I was like so-and-so who's better. Or I know it's kind of hard right now, but I know if I work at it, I'm going to get better. And I know that if I ask my teacher, she's going to help. And I even have friends in class who will help me if I just ask them. Oh, and mom and dad at home could ask too. I could ask them and they could help me. So there's a lot of different ways to look at every single subject. And just remember, anytime you don't feel good on a thought, you can shift that thought. And just remember me and these instruments and say, oh, that's right, what did Mr. Mike say? What's a good feeling thought I could have about that? It's okay to have all different types of feelings. They're very important. I think crying is wonderful. It's a wonderful release. But when you're done, well, now let's get back to a thought that feels really good, because there's always thoughts out there. And what's the best way to find thoughts that feel really good? Appreciations and loves. Remember that. So we'll keep our lesson a little short for today. I know if we were at the Boys and Girls Club, you'd be playing with my instruments and looking at my books. So I'll come up with some different ideas, maybe even reading some of the stories I've written, and even a new story I've written recently, but I haven't illustrated yet. So we'll have fun with this, just like we are with everything during these days. And I hope you're all doing wonderful, and just letting you know that I'm sending each of you my love, as well as all your family, and that everybody comes out of this nice and healthy and safe, so you can get back to having fun and going to school and going to the parks and get back to the day and day. So sending you love, saying bye from Mr. Mike's home. Until next time. Bye-bye.